Well, there's been a slight change of plans with the exhaust. I was going to use that split manifold that came in some Wranglers and Grand Cherokees. The cast iron, kind of a log manifold, whereas the front three go into one and the back three go into one. And then they go into two short little tiny catalytic converters. Well, upon looking at my old 4.0 header, basically, long tube style manifold, I went, there is no way I'm going to give up with what the original manifold I had on there provided for what this is, and I'll show you right here. Doing some looking at it, I'm like, wow, that is so much smaller all the way across the board. And I was okay with it being, kind of neck down a little bit in these runners, but then I really got to looking at it and I'm like, there's just no way I'm going to do that. I'm not going to give up. This car it was pretty spunky for, an NA engine. And I'm like, I'm not going to give that up. Even though, yeah, the turbo would help overcome a bunch of that. But I'm not going to sacrifice all that this manifold had to give me for that. My off-turbo performance, I want to still be close to what it was before. So what I'm going to do is take the old header, and since it's the same idea, it's the, what would it be? Front three, back three, and they each go into one. So, and then into two and then into one. So I'm going to lop it off here and still run my twin scroll exhaust all the way around to the turbo. So I'm pretty excited. I didn't even see it when I got home. I went camping this weekend, and I come home and I'm unloading everything out of the little Toyota here and walking down the passenger side of the car. And then I grabbed something and walked up this side and went, whoa, there's all my exhaust. So, well, I'm going to open it up and we'll see what it looks like. Well, I haven't been making any updates on the car lately. Been working on it, but just haven't been bothering to film any of it. So, let's see, things that have shown up. I've got the fuel rail. I found an outfit that had a 5 psi wastegate. Beautiful. It's even the right length. I was thinking if I had to, I'd modify it, but it's even the right length. So lucked out there. The charge air stuff, all my intercooler piping, the intercooler itself, and look at this crazy contraption. It's basically the header for a, what would it be, 99, I think, to 06 4.0. So, and for anyone who wants to put this header on a 95, yeah, basically anything newer than Renix and up to 98, you're going to have to do a little bit of work on your intake manifold, because the intake manifold hits right there. Right there. Luckily, I mean, it's nothing, but so I'd do a little massage right there and just a tiny little bit right in here. But other than that, it fits in there, and I tell you what, it is really tight on this car. Right up against, it sits so close to the brake booster, but it does clear. So now I get to plumb. Well, yeah, another thing I had got, I don't know if I had videoed this or not, but from Summit, it's 36 feet of random 2-inch bends, 2-inch exhaust bends. Anyway, so I have to get both these outlets pretzeled around here and down through right here, just behind the power steering pump, and then up and over to the turbo. It's Friday of the beginning of Labor Day weekend, which is awesome. Got a 3-day weekend, and I hope to have the hot side done. Once the hot side's done, I'll fly together with the project. I got really fortunate. I was cleaning the intake manifold out, and something was rattling around in it, and it was oily. Came off of an engine that had lost the number 6 piston, or number 6 cylinder anyway. And I was going to clean it anyway. It was full of oil and whatever. Well, as I'm hauling it outside to do all the grinding on it, I got 2 chunks of piston ring out of it, and I'm like, woo! that would have really sucked had those been stuck to the goo in the intake and I got lazy and said I ain't going to bother cleaning it. Fired the engine up, ingested that into the engine, and spit it out through the turbo if it didn't lock the engine up and caused me some serious heartache. And it would have went through the engine, through the turbo, and I would have been like, well, what? The engine ran great when I parked it, or when I tore into it. So, whew, got lucky on that one. All right, today's the day, starting on the hot side. So, I've got my nightmare project getting ready to go. It's going to be tricky, getting all that tubing wrapped around to the other side of the engine. I just converted my welder back to inner shield flux core wire. I was about running out of shielding gas anyway. It was fairly low. Holiday weekend, I don't want to be in the middle of this and run out of gas, and then I'd have to go to inner shield anyway. So I'm just going to start with the inner shield. I've had really good luck welding with this welder, doing exhaust and thin metal. I've done I've done 2 roof chops on, well, one was a 39 Chevy, the other was a 40 Ford. So I can weld thin metal very well with this welder and inner shield. So that's the plan. So, all right, we'll see how this turns out. All right, end of first day of building the hot side. Holy crap, I'm beat. Trying to lay on top of my little DIY topside creeper thingy over here, and man, oh man, what a puzzle to try to get put together. So I'm about halfway through. I've got the 2 off of the collectors basically and routed them around to just behind the power steering pump or power steering gearbox in the pump, and they're dumped down in front of the front cross member with plenty of room for steering, hopefully, and everything else. I've kind of checked it and thought it through, so we'll see. But here's what it looks like. So each one of these tubes has basically a 270-degree bend in it to get it to come back forward. And wow, all I can say is it was quite the effort. I'm beat. I don't know, maybe just as much mentally as physically. I hate topside creepers. I've worked on them a few times, and well, I don't own one, so I had to build my own out of a stack of tires, and there's underneath the old moving blanket is some like the throwable seat cushions for a canoe or whatever, the life preserver type, and the pillow, and I don't do well just laying on those topside creeper things. So, but anyway, it's getting there. So I think that's going to be the end of the update for today. Thanks.